G'day guys, what's cracking? It's Ralph here and I'm inside Lightroom again because I want to talk to you about 16 ways, 16 tips that will help warp speed your editing process. We want to make the most out of your time, right? Because editing can take forever. We're going to take it from like to warp speed at the click of a button or several buttons. Invest in this short time now that will change how much time you spend in editing, right? Does that sound like a good deal? All right, let's get started. Just not working. Gosh. Oh, it's so good. This channel is about equipping you to activate your creativity around photography, and there's videos to help you do that on Tuesdays and Saturdays. So let's get stuck in. Tip number 1. I've talked about this in a previous video, but if you hit 6, it selects that image. You can go through all the images you shot that morning and hit 6 and it just marks them all red. You can choose different colors from 7, 8 and 9, but it allows you then to go back and focus on what you should be focusing on. If you want to give that then a star, that gives you like an indicator about how excited you are about that photograph and whether you should return to it. You can choose the star by pressing the numbers 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0 gives it no stars and allows you to start again. When you hit up the crop tool, and I've talked about this one before, there's an O option which gives you a lot of composition options should you want them. Now, when you're shooting landscape, here's the other cool thing. You want a straight, look at that, you want a straight horizon. Very, very important. And so to get that, you can just click on auto and it calculates what straight should be. However, you can go a step further, and if you go over here to the straighten tool, you can then mark that on your horizon. You can drag it across your horizon and it will make sure that your horizon is straight. That may not be straight because I don't have glasses on. Now it's straight. All right, we say that's done, happy with that. And then we can go to this little thing on the basic menu. And if I press auto, watch what happens. It auto edits to what it think is the best settings for this photograph. And from there, you can then adapt and use these settings to your heart's content. So it kind of gives you a really good start into what the editing process should be. However, you may think, not happy with the audio edit. So you just hit reset. Goes back to how the photograph originally started. Now be careful with reset because as you would have noticed, it just resets your orientation and horizon. Now I've already edited this image, so I went Command C, that saved all of the settings around it, and now I'm going to go Command V and I'm going to dump my previous settings onto the image, and that's what we're working with today. Let me just interject here. If you're enjoying this content, please subscribe if you haven't already. And also you can join, you can become part of the action, part of the community. You can do that by our Facebook page, our Facebook group, which will be down below in the description, but also you can join our community. So there's a join tab, you can click that, have a bit of a look through, see what you think. All right, moving on. If you go Command single speech mark, it does this. It creates another virtual copy of your image. Look, 1, 2, they're identical. And then what you can do on the second one is you can try out some extra edits that you thought, oh, maybe this will work. I wonder if it looks like here. And then I can just kind of compare the two. So if I put those things in, it registers them. And then I go, oh, it looks awful. It looks awful, but let's say you're like, wow, that looks great. You can go back and go, all right, that's how it was. That's how it is. Maybe I'll back off on some of that warmth. This will be bad. Told you. Creating a virtual copy enables you to play with something or do edits particular to one copy but still retain the edits you had on the original. It's a really, really handy thing to do. These little things are called sliders just here, and if you want to reset a slider, you just put your mouse over it and you double click and it takes you back to the center. Back to the center, and that's back to where it was shot. So when it came out of camera, it came out with certain functions and settings, and that's what that resets it to. If we can reset exposure, that'll go back to 0. Contrast will go back to 0. You get the picture. Double click in the middle rather than trying to level that up and work out where 0 actually is. All right, if we're finished with this basic module, but we want to go to other modules, you just click this little arrow here, it shrinks it down, and I've selected solo mode. So if I go right click, solo mode means it only opens one module at a time. So I'm not scrolling through thousands, and every time I open one up, it just does that particular module. Now, if I go right click, I can also customize my develop panel, which means I can choose which order they go in. So you can put them in the order of which ones you use or which ones you want to think about throughout your editing process, and you just save that. On each of these below sliders, it has this little button here, and that little button allows you, let's just do something a bit ridiculous here. Let's put the DJI Osmo Action effect on it, which should warp it, look fisheye. And if you use this little button up here, it is an before and after, an on-off switch of the changes you've made within that module. So watch this, turn off lens correction. That's what it used to look like. That's what it looks like now. Huh? It's like a before and after, but you can turn it on or off. This one's really cool. So on my original edit, let's go back to that. Let's say I want to put a gradient filter on that, and I want to just pretty up the skies but not touch the land. So what happens is you draw a thing like this. If you press shift, it will make the horizon dead straight. Watch this. Shift, and I can then line that up with the horizon and realize that my horizon is not straight because I did that before I had glasses on. And then I can affect the colors in that to the degree that I want to affect them. So I might want to put more saturation in, I might want to put more pink in, but anyway, that's what I might want to do if I were feeling sick. And say some shadows, and I can go, great. Now, if I don't like this, if I think, oh no, that doesn't work, the way to turn it off is you just go click and delete. It's gone. Now, the final thing I want to talk to you about today is presets. I have created some presets. If you'd like to see some of my presets, you can actually go down in the description, and I think they're on for like $5 for a set of 5 or 6 or whatever. Just go have a look at them, have a play around. But for example, I will go down my presets and I'll go sunrise and sunset, a blue pick me up. So if I hover over this preset, because the preset saves you time, right? So you can select a preset and then it fills in all the editing settings there. I can go copper heat, and if we look over to the right pane, it changes. I can go emblazoned, and I can choose which one I want. So I might go chic surface, and then I might say yes, but there's too much shadow in it. So I'm going to redeem some of the shadow, and I'm going to increase the thing and just put a little bit more warmth into the shot, and there you go, folks. Image edited. I hope these tips have been really helpful. I hope you've been benefited by them, and that it can save you time, because editing can take a lot of time. It doesn't need to once you learn some certain skills and tricks and hacks and tips to get you through much quicker. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you could subscribe. If you could give me the thumbs up, it makes such a difference, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.